got them down for my audience and double my dollars. They criticize before, yet they all yell holler. A skilled soul, truth be told, lyrically I be. Papa Lee, Talib Kweli. Truthfully, I want to rhyme like common sense, but I did 5 mil. I ain't been rhyming like common sense. Hey, what's good, man? It's your boy Jay.
I'm Dre. And for those of you who are musically inclined, y'all probably recognize that that verse from someone known as Jay-Z,
Moment of clarity, man.
Jigga, aka Jehovah.
Mr. 444.
Yes.
So, we have a hip-hop topic for you all today, and it is this. It's 444. Sean Carter's, because he's not Jay-Z anymore, y'all. He's Sean Carter. 444, Jay-Z's best album ever. Dre, you got the mic.
Ooh, dang, man, you put me on the hot seat like this?
You on the hot seat, brother. What's up?
Is it his best album ever? Well, I'm gonna have to plead the fifth on this, because I personally haven't listened to Jay-Z's full catalog. I've heard Reasonable Doubt. I've heard Blueprint 1 and 2. I've heard the Black Album. But, and I've heard, I want to say, Kingdom Come. That's my still J. And 444, of course. Now,
you heard the albums that matter, maybe Volume 2, but so you think it's better than Blueprint?
It's too soon. It's too soon. I feel like when you talking classic albums, I feel like every time an album first drops, everybody has this mass hysteria like it's the best thing ever. And I feel like to properly evaluate it, you gotta let that weigh off. And you know, everybody's time length is different. I know, like for one, Joe Budden said like I can't call it a classic until like a year or two's gone by. I don't know. For me, I feel like a couple
months.
Yeah, a couple months. It's up there. I like it. I don't know if it's best ever though, but it's I feel like this is damn good.
Good. Hey, listen, man. It's top 5, top 4 Jay-Z albums, and that's giving it credence. Like that's putting it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
but
it beat out like what 20 albums right there.
I want to say this: slow your horses, people. Slow your horses. The album has been out a week, 2 weeks. People already are putting it on a pedestal as Jay-Z's best album, hands down. And my thought on that is, I got to Remy Ma. Are you dumb? No. You can't. Man, listen. Reasonable Doubt. Sonically, from a lyricism, 22 Tools, from a lyricism standpoint, from Brooklyn's Finest with Big, it's to me Jay-Z's best body of work. And 444 is good, but one of my biggest knocks against it is that it's a decade too late. The audience that listens to Jay-Z, I would say 90% of that is between 28, 27 and higher. The people that really need to listen to this are the younger generation. In that opening monologue, Jay said, truth be told, if lyrics sold, I be lyrically Talib Kweli. So, to me, this album is a decade too late. Is it a great album? Yes. Was it needed for the culture? Yes. Is it Jay-Z's best body of work? No. Blueprint, to me, is one of the best albums of all time. I'm not talking about hip-hop. I'm not talking about rap. I am talking about one of the best albums of all time. With Kanye West's, with the production all through the album, just the beat picking, Jay-Z's flow, the way the album ended with the 3 songs rolled in one with Lyrical Exercise, Mama Love Me, and Girls, Girls, Girls Part 2. That album, man, like, 444 is good, but it's going to take time, and it's going to take me hearing some things that I missed before I could ever put it before Reasonable Doubt and Blueprint. And I would even say the Black Album.
I definitely would agree. I tend to lean a little bit towards the Black Album over the Blueprint, but you know, to me, they're a little bit interchangeable. It leads me to a question that after watching 50 Cent's Instagram, he said that Jay's 444 was too over people's head. That in essence he has to dumb it down. That basically nobody in the hood can really listen to it because it's too smart. You too high minded. Would you agree with that?
I mean, that's the same thing they told my favorite rapper, which is Nas. Lupe, dumb it down. I understand what 50's saying, but I think that's ignorant. I don't think Jay-Z was preaching on the album. I don't think he was using words that can't be understood. And most importantly, the difference between Future understood that. Hey man, no, I ain't gonna call. Shout out to Future. But most importantly, the difference between him and I would say Lupe Fiasco and the Nas is that the production on the album, the beats are still so sonically pleasing that it will still catch the average listener's attention. And let's not forget who's the source of that quote. It's 50 Cent, man. This is what he does. And stuff comes out and he hates. It's 50. You know what I'm saying? And I can't take what he say with too much credence.
No, I understand that, but also it is something that I've heard a little bit of. So, I mean, I don't think that Jay was so high-minded on that album that it was anything unreasonably complex or anything like that lyrically. But there have been a few people that have said, like, yo, I think it's good. I listen to it, I'll bump it, but I really can't relate because I don't understand what Jay talking about. Like, real time.
Hey, listen, man, the brother's in the point of his career, though. Even though I feel like it should have been put out earlier, he's at the point of his career where it doesn't really matter. And he said, "I'm giving you $1 million game for $9.99." I think he said $1 billion game for $9.99. And I mean, like he said nothing new, but sometimes it's not what it said; it's the source that it came from. Yeah. So for him to say some of the things he said, I will agree was much needed for the culture. And to the people who can't understand it, man, maybe it's not for you. I'll just leave it at that. I would say that this album was markedly better than Magna Carta Holy Grail. I felt like Magna Carta Holy Grail should be placed on the same toilet seat as Kingdom Come. It was due, man. The album was due. And I wasn't expecting this. And I think that's also why people are putting this album so far up there. No one was expecting a conscious and knowledgeable, lyrical, exercising Jay with the soulful beats of one of my favorite producers, No ID. Come on, man. He did that. It's a great album. Best Jay album? Nah. Great album, yes. Classic? Maybe.
So, conspiracy theory here.
Uh-oh.
Do you feel that Jay purposely put out Magna Carta Holy Grail, even subpar quality that it was, to lower the quality and lower the bar so that he could jump over it on his way out?
He might have did, because a lot of people don't realize this, man, but if you go look at every Jay album has always mentioned Nas, right? Them two are interchangeable. And Jay always wanted Nas's approval. And for those of you who study hip-hop and know hip-hop, you know this is fact. Mm-hmm. He wanted Nas more Reasonable Doubt. That eventually led to the beef. Nas was like, nah, I'm not coming. And then come to the studio. But anyway, I say that because when Nas dropped Life is Good, it was universally acclaimed. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people was like, man, look, they're both in their 40s now. Nas is so much more listenable to now than Jay. Because Magna Carta Holy Grail was some poop. And, man, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but Jay has a way of always doing stuff to work his benefit. He's the only man to get his behind beat by his sister-in-law on the elevator and make a hot line about it out of it. You know what I'm saying? And make it look like he's still cool. So, I don't know, maybe he did it on purpose, because this album is so markedly better than Magna Carta Holy, I don't like, whatever, that the MG, whatever, C album, that, man, it makes Jay, you're right, man, it faults him even the space higher than necessary.
Because, I mean, I really do kind of feel like Kingdom Come was garbage. Magna Carta was garbage.
Blueprint 3 was
American Gangster was cool.
American Gangster was cool.
I mean, I feel like if you had removed some of those albums, they'd just been average. And then Jay came with this, I feel like it would have been, the buzz around it still would probably be about the same, but I don't think people be viewing it as the best thing ever. But I think by the subpar outing that he had last time, it turned, what's the best way to put this? It turned Kobe dropping 60, walking off for his career, into Jordan hitting the last shot over the Jazz as a Bull.
He turned sparkling grape into wine. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's still good, sparkling grape good, but because of when he released it and how it was released, it turned into some wine, man. So I'm gonna close it out, but I want to ask you this before we close it out. Right?
Ahead, man.
Me and you were in agreement that not from a overall rapper standpoint, but just from a lyricist and an artist standpoint, just from an artist, a music standpoint, that Nas Escobar was higher or better than Jay. My question is, and I honestly have to seriously think about this, my question to you is, has this album finally in your mind pushed Jay over Nas?
No. Emphatically no. In my honest opinion, Nas has been far more consistent with his quality throughout his career. That's not to say he hasn't had his couple misses. We all know Uchiwali, but
that's my jam, man.
No.
To the point where your bodyguard's first is better than yours. Yeah.
No. But I really do feel that up until this, Nas, I can listen to every Nas album, and I can see a growth and progression in this man. A growth and progression that was missing for Jay. Honestly, Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt, the Black Album, same dude. For the most part, same dude. I didn't really see a whole lot of growth and maturity.
I agree. I actually agree with that. Now that you said it, but in a way, that's what makes Jay great, the consistency. Because people don't realize that Jay at his hottest was never the hottest guy. When he first came out, it was Nas.
Yeah.
Right? And then in the 90s, the King of New York. I mean, you had Big, and then after Big died, DMX. DMX put out 4 classics. Like back to back to back to back. And DMX, Jay-Z was never the hottest guy in the city. Then you go to early 2000s, you had Dipset. Blueprint was that fire, but let's not get Cameron had 80% of the United States of America wearing pink t-shirts. You feel what I'm saying? But what Jay did was he stayed consistent throughout the years. Jay never had just a bad album until Kingdom Come. Like an album that everybody said, this album is trash till Kingdom Come. By the time he got to Kingdom Come, he was already over 10 albums in. Like 10 albums in, so...
Are you not counting Best of Both Worlds?
Best of Both Worlds not a bad album, man. He just makes R. Kelly. You know, it's not a bad album. But I'm not counting because that's not a solo effort. But let me wrap by saying this, man. And anybody who knows me knows it takes a lot for me to say this. But Nas has to come with it, man. Escobar, Nas, Nasty Nas, Godson, whatever you want to call him, Chip Tooth Nas, he has to come with it on this album that he claims is dropping this year. Because if he don't, I can no longer argue as a Nas diehard fan that he's markedly better than Jay-Z.
Now, I would ask the question. If you believe Nas was better than this man before 444, why does 444 change your mind so much when Nas been spitting the same type of stuff for longer and Nas has been just as consistent with his album quality?
Because to me it proves that Jay-Z, when he said, truth be told, lyrically, truth be told, lyric soul, truthfully, I be, lyrically, Talib quality, it proves that he was right. He could have been doing this the whole time. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. But also, one thing I can say that everybody talks about it, Nas beat. That would mean Life is Good is so good. The beats on Life is Good were awesome, but we can agree that a lot of Nas albums, the beats are subpar. Stillmatic is one of probably my second or third favorite Nas album. But if you take the lyrics away from half of those beats, it's like Jay-Z, man, to put the lyricism with the production and mash it together in such greatness is something that Nas has had trouble achieving. And it's hard for me to keep saying that Nas is better than him when Jay-Z has did this for, 2 decades now, 3 decades.
Well, I think we're gonna go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
The rabbit hole gets deep, Jay. Because we can argue this all day long, and there's some points that I would come back with to counter that. But I think we should probably wrap this up here. Any closing comments before we go?
Final word, man. That's my final word. Is 444 Jay-Z's best album? No. Is 444 a great album?
By the way, where would you put 444 in Jay's library?
Third or fourth. Probably top third. I go Reasonable Doubt, Blueprint, Black Album, 444. It can flip flop. And to finish it, is it his best album? Like I said, no. Is it a great album? Yes. Is it a classic? Time will tell. But I will say this: it was definitely needed for the culture.
I would agree. Once again, thank everybody for watching. I'm Dre.
And I'm your boy Jay.
And please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.